Goth Festival of Montreal presents
Esoteric Knowledge, Part 1. Inspired by the teachings of wandering Sufi mystic Inayat Khan. The Alchemy of Happiness, a mystical journey. Within the heart's secret chamber lies the key to eternal bliss. Seek ye the inner life and find thy truest self. In the hallowed halls of the soul there lies a secret, not of worldly riches, but of pure bliss. The soul, known as Atman in the sacred tongue of Sanskrit, is itself the embodiment of happiness, a radiant beacon in the vast expanse of existence. Yet humans frequently confuse this sacred radiance with the transient flickers of pleasure, an elusive glow in the thicket of longing. Pleasure, it is said, is merely the shadow cast by the light of true happiness, a specter that flits just beyond reach, luring the unsuspecting into a labyrinth of disappointment. As an old Hindu proverb warns, we chase after pleasure only to collide with pain, like a moth helplessly drawn to a flame it can never hold. In this twilight realm, where souls drift like lost spirits, true happiness is a rare jewel hidden deep within the heart's sanctum. Few dare to embark on the quest, for the path is lined with mirages and the specter of unfulfilled longing. The world, a stage for tragedies, witnesses souls clinging to possessions, power, and status, only to find themselves ensnared in a web of dissatisfaction. But the wise understand that happiness is not a commodity to be bartered or bestowed, nor a gift for the undeserving. It is the very essence of our being, the self that resides within, a precious gem beyond measure. All faiths, all philosophies have whispered secrets in hushed tones, guiding the seeker along the mystical path to this inner treasure. And to the alchemists of yore, their tales woven with the threads of mystical symbolism, like the enchanting narratives of the Arabian Nights. They spoke of a philosopher's stone, a legendary artifact capable of transmuting base metals into gold. But this, dear reader, is not the pursuit of the enlightened. For them, gold is but a symbol for light, for spiritual enlightenment, the hue of the divine sun. Yet many a soul has been seduced by the allure of false gold, amassing imitations while the true treasure lies dormant within. Like children engrossed in play, they satisfy their cravings with trinkets, oblivious to the treasure chest at their feet. Age is no shield against this folly. One may grow old and still be entangled in the search for illusory wealth. The aim of life, spiritual attainment. The main aim of every soul might be termed spiritual attainment. Though one may go through life without it, there will come a time when the soul's appetite for it will surface. This appetite is not merely acquired knowledge, but a yearning deep within. Human nature is consistent, whether one is spiritual or material. There are 5 things that all humans yearn for: life, power, knowledge, happiness, and peace. The continual appetite felt in the deepest self yearns for one or more of these. To fulfill the desire to live, one eats, drinks, and protects oneself, yet the appetite is never fully sated because death, the ultimate danger, remains. To obtain power, one seeks physical strength, influence, or rank. But disappointments loom large because there is always someone more powerful. The desire for knowledge leads one to study, but true satisfaction eludes because the why of existence remains unanswered by outer learning. Happiness, often sought through pleasures, remains elusive because worldly pleasures cannot fulfill the soul's true longing. Peace, sought by escaping one's environment, remains out of reach if one is not ready for it. These 5 appetites can only be truly satisfied by spiritual attainment. The desire to live is fulfilled when the soul realizes its eternal nature. Mortality is but a lack of understanding of the soul's true self. The desire for power is fulfilled when one seeks the kingdom of God within and finds true power in becoming rather than in acquiring. Knowledge in its truest form is found within oneself. By studying the self, one comes to spiritual knowledge. True happiness is not gained, but discovered by opening the doors of the heart. Peace is found within, independent of external circumstances. To attain these, one must first accomplish the immediate aim, however small. By doing so, one gains power and moves closer to reality. Truth is attained through the love of truth. When one runs from truth, truth eludes them. But when one embraces truth, they find unity with all, transcending barriers that divide humanity. The inner life, a pathway to divine bliss. There exists an aspect of life often overlooked, the inner life. This inner realm, far greater and nobler than our outer existence, is a sanctuary of divine light and pure intelligence. Unlike our everyday consciousness, which is absorbed in the activities of the outer world, the inner life remains largely unexplored, yet it holds the key to true happiness and fulfillment. The inner life is not merely a philosophical concept, but a tangible reality, accessible through contemplation, meditation, and self-reflection. It is the source of our deepest insights, our most profound emotions, and our highest aspirations. When we turn our gaze inward, we discover a wellspring of joy, inspiration, and creativity that can transform our outer existence. To embark on the path of the inner life, one must first cultivate freedom from preconceived notions, beliefs, and attachments that bind us to the material world. This freedom allows us to explore the vast expanse of our inner being, unencumbered by the limitations of the outer self. Sacrifice is another essential aspect of the inner life. By letting go of our egoistic desires and attachments, we open ourselves to the divine light within. This sacrifice is not a loss, but a gain, for it leads us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. The inner life also requires a balanced state of mind and heart. When our inner being is in harmony, we radiate happiness and peace. This balance is achieved through self-awareness, self-acceptance, and the fulfillment of our duties to ourselves and others. As we delve deeper into the inner life, we discover that our thoughts, feelings, and actions have a profound impact on our outer existence. By cultivating positive qualities such as love, compassion, and understanding, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. Ultimately, the inner life is a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth. It is a path that leads us to the realization of our true nature, the divine essence that resides within each of us. By embracing the inner life, we find true happiness, peace, and fulfillment, and we contribute to the betterment of humanity as a whole. In this mystical journey, let us remember that the aim of life is not a destination, but a path of spiritual attainment and inner exploration that leads to true happiness, peace, and unity with the divine. The inner life, gateway to the divine. Unlike our everyday consciousness, which is absorbed in the activities of the outer world, the inner life remains largely unexplored, yet it holds the key to true happiness and fulfillment. The inner life is not merely a philosophical concept, but a tangible reality, accessible through contemplation, meditation, and self-reflection. It is the source of our deepest insights, our most profound emotions, and our highest aspirations. In the words of Hazrat Inayat Khan, the inner life makes one richer, the outer life poorer. This inner realm, when discovered, becomes a wellspring of joy, inspiration, and creativity. It is where the divine essence resides, waiting to be awakened by the seeker's devotion. To embark on this path, one must cultivate freedom from the shackles of preconceived notions and material attachments. Only then can we explore the vast expanse of our inner being. Interdependence of life, within and without. The inner and outer lives are not separate entities, but interwoven threads in the tapestry of existence. As Hazrat Inayat Khan teaches, everything one sees, hears, or perceives through any sense or experience has a distinct and definite effect upon one's soul. Our contact with the outer world is a continual mechanical interchange, influencing our spirit every moment. The science of physiognomy or phrenology suggests that what we acquire helps form the muscles and bones of our features and head, according to what our mind has taken in. Thus, the inner life shapes our outer experiences and vice versa. The will, that divine spark within, guides us through this interplay, enabling us to stand firm amidst life's storms. The path of attainment, freedom, and sacrifice. To truly embrace the inner life, one must also understand the role of sacrifice. Sacrifice is not about denying oneself all that is good, but about letting go of the egoistic desires that bind us. It is a difficult path, requiring deep sympathies and great love. Yet, it is through this sacrifice that the door to the inner chamber of the heart
Amen.
opens, revealing the divine light within. As we delve deeper, we find that our thoughts, feelings, and actions have a profound impact on our outer existence. By cultivating positive qualities such as love, compassion, and understanding, we create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. This is the path of spiritual attainment, leading us to the realization of our true nature. The continuity of life beyond death's veil. There comes a time when every soul wonders, is life continuous? Some, in pessimism, believe that nothing follows death. Others, in optimism, cling to the hope of something beyond. Yet to imagine nothingness after death is more painful than death itself, for it robs existence of meaning. Hazrat Inayat Khan teaches, life lives and death dies. To life there is no death, and to death there is no life. Continuity is not proven by intellect alone. One may study philosophies and metaphysics for decades, yet reasoning cannot grant the certainty the heart longs for. The Sufi path is experiential. By touching that part of life within which is not subject to death, one gains conviction stronger than any belief. Everything constructed is subject to destruction. Everything composed is subject to decomposition. Everything born is subject to death. Yet in discovering the eternal life within, one finds the true self, and all else loses importance. Mortality is but a conception. Immortality is reality. Self-analysis and unlearning. The mystic begins with self-analysis. Am I this body? Am I this mind? In time, one realizes the body and mind are instruments, not identity. They are garments worn for the journey, floats that keep us safe in the waters of mortality. Mortality itself is only a thought. Immortality is the truth. Thus the Sufi practice is often described as unlearning. What we call life, we learn to see as death. What we call death, we learn to see as life. By loosening fixed judgments, right and wrong, high and low, spiritual and material, we free the mind from rigidity. Then true realization begins, tolerance blossoms, and forgiveness flows. Playing death. To rise above the conception of death, mystics play death. By contemplating death, one discovers life. The body is but a coat. When it wears out, the soul remains. Intellect may say the body is a garment, but only meditation makes this truth conviction. In this realization, death is no longer feared, for one knows the soul is untouched. Bidil, the Persian Sufi, wrote, "By myself I become captive, and by myself I become free." In simple words, by myself I die, and by myself I live. For the mystic, life and death are not conditions imposed, but states he himself brings about. As the sun rises over the horizon, so does the inner light illuminate the soul. The aim of life is not a destination, but a path, a journey of spiritual attainment, inner exploration, and realization of continuity beyond death. By embracing the inner life, we discover happiness, peace, and unity with the divine. By unlearning rigid notions, we awaken tolerance and compassion. By playing death, we transcend mortality and touch immortality. Thus, the alchemy of happiness is not merely the discovery of joy within, but the certainty that life is eternal. In this conviction lies freedom, for the soul knows it cannot perish. To walk this path is to contribute not only to one's own fulfillment, but to the betterment of humanity, radiating love and light across the tapestry of existence. The whisper of the soul. In the hallowed night, where shadows dance and whispers beckon, the soul, a lonely wanderer, seeks the light of dawn's first reckon. Through the mists of time, it calls, a silent, haunting song, a plea for truth, for love, for where it truly belongs. Oh, hear the cry of the inner heart, a mournful, ancient tune, echoing through the corridors of time, beneath the silver moon. It seeks the path of righteousness, where virtue's light does shine. And in the darkness, finds the strength to climb the steep incline. For in the inner chamber, where the divine does reside, lies the key to happiness, the peace we all must bide. Let go the chains of earthly desire, the trinkets false and vain, and in the silence find the truth, the love that heals the pain. As the sun rises over the horizon, so does the inner light illuminate the soul. Seek ye the path of the inner life, and find eternal joy. In this mystical journey, let us remember that the aim of life is not a destination, but a path of spiritual attainment and inner exploration that leads to true happiness, peace, and unity with the divine. By embracing the inner life, we find our truest selves and contribute to the betterment of humanity as a whole. The alchemy of happiness, life in all its boundless expressions, has but one ultimate purpose, just as there is only one life, though it appears as many. To recognize this truth is to touch the heart of wisdom. Yet so often we wander through existence, chasing fleeting goals only to feel lost, as if life itself resists us. The secret? Begin by choosing your own path. Even the smallest, clearest intention sets your journey in motion. When you find your true calling, the world conspires to support you. Obstacles become stepping stones, and what once seemed impossible now unfolds with grace. You are no longer a stranger in this world, but a creator, a master of your destiny. The soul's 5 sacred longings. Deep within every heart, 5 eternal appetites stir: life, power, knowledge, happiness, and peace. We seek to satisfy them through food and safety, through influence and rank, through books and study, through pleasure and solitude. Yet again and again, we find only temporary relief. The soul's hunger is not for the fleeting, but for the eternal. We fear death, yet the soul is immortal. To know this is to transform fear into freedom, to see death not as an end, but as a change, a new beginning. True power is not seized, it is awakened within. When you release the false self, you rise into your divine heritage. Knowledge. The universe is mirrored in your own being. To know yourself is to know all. Happiness is not found in others or in possessions, but in the living heart. Open the doors of your soul and joy flows in. Peace, it is not in escaping the world, but in mastering your response to it. When you stand firm in your center, nothing can disturb your calm. The path to fulfillment. Start where you are. Accomplish what is before you, no matter how small. Each completed task builds your strength, your confidence, your power. As you walk this path, always seeking the real, you will arrive at the truth. You are not separate, you are life itself. The wise do not argue over names or forms. They know that truth unites all hearts, all faiths, all people. When you live in truth, you live in harmony with all creation. Your invitation. You are not here by accident. You are here to awaken, to grow, to realize the eternal within. Begin today, choose your object, trust your journey, and remember, the soul's appetite is divine. Feed it with truth, and you will know the alchemy of happiness. The one who has found peace within may be in a mountain cave or a crowded city, yet everywhere peace is theirs. What small step will you take today toward your soul's true calling?
This was a Kai Kazi film.
Of this video do not reflect the Goth Festival of Montreal.